Hey everyone, I am back at Disney World for the first time since all of this pandemic madness started, and I promise to come with nightly trip reports for the podcast. So here's my first one. I'm staying at Wilderness Lodge with my daughter for our first night here, and only the DVC rooms are open here. The rest of the resort is not, which makes it feel very empty. We flew into Orlando today. That was my first flight since February, and it also was very empty. We flew on Southwest, who is still social distancing until December, and they had 40 to 50 people on the plane that could hold 175. So there was tons of space, which was really great. Everyone could spread out, and it was a bit weird to be that close to other people, though. I mean, when the plane landed and we pulled up to the gate, people kind of crowded in the aisles again, and I was like, what are you doing? Why can't you wait and let people go out in orderly fashion? But I think it's just force of habit, when people line up in the aisles to get off the plane. But other than that, it was fine. The airport felt extremely empty to me, eerily so, and we did take Magical Express. I was contemplating renting a car to avoid any kind of public transport, but it was really pricey for the amount of time that we needed it for, and I figured, well, we're just going to, get brave and take Magical Express. So they were distancing on the bus, and it was probably 25% full on the bus. It was not packed at all. We had lots of space on the bus as well. So masks were 100% required for every leg of that journey. It was a short flight for us. It's an hour and 20 minutes from Raleigh-Durham to Orlando, and I felt like if it was much longer, I really would have been sick of it. So I was glad it was a short flight. And yes, that was my impression with traveling. I felt quite safe. We have N95 masks, and I felt like I really wasn't in any kind of danger from the traveling here. And then once we get here, it's lovely. I requested a ground floor room so we could avoid elevators and just walk out of our room to the outside. So I'm sitting on our patio right now. And I did rent points for this night from a friend, actually, but I have to say that the DVC availability right now is I've never seen anything like it. There's rooms available at pretty much every resort for any time you want it. And points are very cheap to come by right now. So if you're considering a last minute trip to maybe soak up some holiday magic, renting DVC points is the way to go. It gives you access to resorts that are not open to otherwise right now. Many of the deluxes are just open for the DVC portions. So I recommend, if you've never rented points before, to go through a broker. I recommend David's, and you can find a post on my blog on the Budget Mouse about renting DVC points, particularly with a broker, and how that whole process works. So I wanted to say about this room, we're staying in Copper Creek Villas, which it gets a bit confusing over here at Wilderness Lodge. So when they added DVC to Wilderness Lodge, they did a whole separate building, and they called them Boulder Ridge Villas, or maybe just Wilderness Lodge Villas at that point. And it's a separate building. You go down a little walkway from the main lodge, and it has its own building. And that was the original DVC. Well, then they went back later, many years later, and retrofitted some of the hotel rooms in the main Wilderness Lodge for DVC, and then named these rooms in Wilderness Lodge proper Copper Creek Villas. So I have stayed in the Boulder Ridge, the original DVC part, before. The rooms were lovely, but I have never stayed over here. And I mean, I'm sure those rooms have been updated since I've stayed here, but these rooms are brand new. They're very modern feeling. They're not as rustic as the rooms used to feel over at Boulder Ridge. They really have a mid-century modern furniture feel, and very clean design. And I don't know if that's your cup of tea, but I like it. And I think the rooms are lovely here. The convenience is ridiculous. I mean, we can walk out of our room and be 10 steps and we're at the pool, the main pool for Wilderness Lodge. But if we walk off of our patio here, we're at the DVC pool. Like literally, I could throw a stone and throw it in the pool over there right now. So you're also convenient to tons of dining here. So I didn't always like the location of the rooms at Boulder Ridge. Sometimes you could get kind of feel far away from the lobby, but these Copper Creek rooms, you're obviously in the main building. This room is super close to everything. It's pretty awesome. So if you've not considered a stay at Wilderness Lodge, it has many, many benefits. Now, I did take questions from the Facebook group and my email list about what people wanted to know about traveling here during this interesting time. And Kathy asked about my impressions of Copper Creek in general. And so I think I just gave them. I really like it. I think it's wonderful. And then Michael asked what was open here at Wilderness Lodge. So I may answer that in two parts. Today, we experienced both pools are open with pretty standard hours. The DVC pool, I believe, is open. I actually don't know the hours of the DVC pool, but I think it opened at 7 a.m. and maybe stayed open till 10 or something. And then the main pool was 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. The water slides are open. I didn't know if they would be. Everything in the pool seemed really normal. You are expected to wear a mask as you walk around the grounds. If you're seated at the pool area and you're not eating and drinking, generally you're expected to wear a mask. However, I will say it was quite empty at the pool today because it's a bit chilly, and a cast member did come around, and because there were so few people there, told people that they could take their masks off while sitting at the pool because there was nobody else even remotely close to around them. So I really liked that. I felt like it was very common sense, and it can be so hard to know what is appropriate. Sometimes there's like new social norms with mask wearing in it. You don't want to break the norms at Disney World, and I overall get the feeling that people are really willing to mask up as much as is expected of them here. Everyone you see walking around the grounds has masks on, and though it may not be necessary, it's great if someone passes right by you, you know that they're going to be masked up. It just gives you a sense of security, which is what they're going for here. So, but I also love the common sense of if you're sitting at the pool and there's nobody even remotely around you and you want to relax, you can take your mask off. That's nice, being able to do that as well. So, the food scene is interesting. So the quick service restaurant Roaring Fork here, I wanted to get some dinner there, and I assumed I would be able to walk up and get some takeout, order, but no, you have to mobile order, which is totally fine. I just wasn't prepared for that. I thought I'd be able to go up and look at a menu and order, but no, be ready to mobile order. I don't know if it will be like this everywhere, but I think for the safety of guests and cast members, they're really trying to minimize contact with people if technology can play a role in it. So I basically sat outside of the restaurant, mobile ordered, and just sat there, and we waited until it popped up on my screen on my phone, your order's ready, and you just walk in and they hand it to you and you walk back out. So it's very safe, I felt like, and there's tons of outdoor seating and places to eat out here at Wilderness Lodge, and there was nobody there. It's so quiet here right now. It's kind of crazy. We also went down to Geyser Point, and that was more crowded. There was a 40-minute wait to get in for two people for dinner because it's small and they don't have a lot of seating, and the seating is spaced out quite a bit too, so the capacity is low there. But I really like that as a kind of lounge / quick service location, and I do have a full post about that on the blog, so when I compile these nightly trip reports, I will try to include a link to that because I do really like that location. So I think that's my start. As far as what else is open here at Wilderness Lodge, I don't know yet. We haven't explored much, but there is boat service here. It goes directly to Magic Kingdom. So in the past, you could take a boat to several other places too, Fort Wilderness, to Contemporary, but they have gone just direct from the resorts to Magic Kingdom now. I know that they were having some poolside activities at some point. They were doing the tie-dye, the Mickey tie-dye activity by the pool today. Everything social distanced and masked and everything. And I believe they're having the movie by the pool. I don't think you can rent watercraft or bikes, but I'm not sure. The decorations for Christmas are up and are gorgeous. The lobby is so beautiful, and it feels like fully decorated to me. It doesn't feel like it's scaled back at all. And the other restaurants are not open. I'm sorry. That's not true. Artist Point is not open, but Whispering Canyon Cafe is open. Reservations required and very limited capacity, but they are open. We are not going to be doing any indoor dining. We're going to be doing all outdoor dining on this trip. I just don't feel like it's very safe to do that yet, but I'm sure lots of people do it and are totally safe, but it's just not in our comfort zone to do that. So, but I did see people in there. So that's it for tonight, I think. And I'm going to share more tomorrow, and I'm going to answer more questions. So if you did ask me a question in the Facebook group or via email, I'm going to try to answer them all over the course of, I'll be here 4 nights, so I will do 3 more shows. Thanks, everyone.